All right, everyone, it's heading into summer. It's getting hot. How's your air conditioning doing? Well, don't worry. If your air conditioning isn't 100% or you're not exactly sure, don't worry because it's not too late to get your air conditioning checked out. So if you want to know more about that, just stay tuned. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Scan FYI. My guest today is the one and only Gary Pavarnik from New Jersey Natural Gas. Hey, Gary.
Good morning, Andrea. How are you?
I'm good. Boy, as we observed earlier, we've been doing this for a while, haven't we?
Yeah, boy, it seems like it's just yesterday.
Just yesterday. I know it's hot, it's cold, it's hot, it's
Yep.
cold. Well, right now it's hot, it's getting hotter. It's not quite summer, but summer is rapidly approaching. And I hope by now, if you have air conditioning in your home, that you've turned it on, made sure it works, right? No
Yeah.
surprises.
Yeah, that's very important this time of year. You definitely don't want to be without air conditioning, and you don't want to have a unpleasant breakdown and really be in trouble.
And the thing is that I do see this with some of my friends and neighbors. They're holding off turning it on until the thermostat hits, 107. And then, oh, something isn't right. That's not good. Don't be like that. Turn
I
it on
agree,
right now if you haven't already, right?
agree with you 100%. You don't want to wait till that last minute because we all know what happens at the last minute. So kind of give it a little bit of a test run. There's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure it's doing okay. And you mentioned earlier, it's that time of year to get a tune up for it.
And you know what else? When you're turning on your air conditioning for the first time, Gary, is there any precautions or anything you need to be aware of?
Not necessarily. One of the things that we've always talked about in the past is one of the most important things to do to maintain your equipment is to replace your filter. So that might be a good thing to do just as a precaution. You probably don't remember the last time you replaced your filter. If you don't put a date on it, that's a good way of remembering. But yeah, the season's starting, there's nothing wrong with replacing the filter.
Do you always want to start the air conditioning season or even the heating season, I would say, with a brand new filter, right? To be ready.
Absolutely. Same thing with the heating season, because, I can bet you that most people will say, oh, I just replaced it. I just replaced it. And here you went through the heating season, and, filters are there for a reason to gather up all the dirt and debris. So, you're getting ready to start during the air conditioning season. It's a good idea to replace that filter.
You had a good idea, which I just want to say it again, is why don't, when you put in a new filter, why don't you just take a magic marker and write on the filter the day that you put it in there in a place where you can see it, because then there's no doubt.
That's for sure. I mean, that's the easiest way. I mean, I know when contractors, the good ones, the smart ones, they'll write the date on a piece of equipment when it was installed. So with, magic marker on a filter, very easy to do. I've seen some people with a little piece of paper taped to the side of their furnace, change filter this date, change filter that date. So there's a lot of different ways, but it is critical and it is important. Make sure that filter is not dirty.
So during the air conditioning season now, because obviously we are in the air conditioning season, how often would you change your filter?
Well, as a rule of thumb, filter manufacturers will give you different times and whatnot, depending on the type of filter. Me, I have your typical 20 by 25 by 1, and I usually replace it. I mean, anytime I walk by my furnace, it's one of those things that you can never
You're in
replace.
the biz, Gary. You're in the biz.
Yes, I don't get them for free. But I always replace them. You know what? Sometimes I look at it and go, you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry. If you've ever pulled your filter out and it is, oh boy.
Shockingly dirty.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I would say a good rule of thumb for a standard filter is 3 months, somewhere around there. Like I said, you don't have to get the best filters. There's everything from good, better, and best. If you replace it frequently, just get the good one. If you want to let it go a little longer, get the best. There's nothing wrong with that. They will last a little bit longer and pick up a lot more debris. So it's something that it's up to the homeowner, whatever they feel comfortable with. But I would not let it run more than 3 months without replacing it for
All
your
right, so
standard
that's
filters.
good to know. And I feel like where we live in New Jersey, typically the heating season can be longer than 3 months, which tells me that I'm going to be replacing my filter certainly one time during that heating season.
That's for sure. When we just don't replace the filter for any old reason, sometimes we have pets. Sometimes we have
Yeah.
carpeting in our home. So all these things attract that
And we all
stuff
have
that,
dust, by the way. Every one of
yes,
us,
every one of us, that's for
talking
sure.
to you.
Every one of us has dust. So, sometimes we have things that create more dust. So maybe more often you would replace your filter. But, as a homeowner, it's something that you can do to keep track. Hey, 3 months, this filter
Okay.
still looks good, or no, you know what, 3 months, boy, this thing looks bad. Maybe I should replace it more often.
Well, if you have animals in the house, and that's going to lead to extra hair and dust and whatnot. And I also feel like if somebody's doing some work in their house and raising dust, sheetrock, or anything like that, that would be another example of when you should be replacing your filter more often, not waiting out the 3 months.
Yeah, you are 100% correct, Andre. If you're doing any
Yeah.
kind of renovations in your home, you want to try to, protect the area where you're
Hmm.
working, having some plastic maybe around the area to reduce the amount of dust going through the house. But that's a very good point. If your house is being worked on, you're going to kick up some dust, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you want to take care of that. So it's not too late to have a free home energy assessment, even though here we are into June now at this point. What do people need to know about that, Gary?
Okay, so one of the programs that we have, as many programs, as you know, we've talked about the rebate programs for replacing high energy efficient equipment. Um, the Save Green program, New Jersey Natural Gas also has what they call for people who, unfortunately, their equipment does break. Nobody prepares for that.
It
And
does, it happens.
sometimes that's a financial burden. And New Jersey Natural Gas has a 0% program, financing. We call it the on-bill repayment program, and it goes right through your gas bill.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's up to $15,000. So, there's not a large upfront out of your pocket expense. You could finance it 0% again through the gas company in the event that you do have to replace your equipment. And you mentioned about the what we call the QHEC, Quick Home Energy Checkup. Now's the time to have that done. It's free. And basically, what it is we have one of our building performance certified energy auditors come
Right.
to your house with a scheduled appointment. And they do a little walkthrough to try to uncover some of these hidden areas where basically, if you just take some simple measures, you could save a lot of money. So, the quick home energy checkup, basically, you can save potentially up to 20% on your energy
All
bills.
right, that's a
So
lot.
there's a very good savings there. Quick home energy checkup, it's free. We do an assessment, go over what our findings are, and you, the customer, ultimately decides which direction you want to go in. But
So
now's
even
the
though it
time.
I feel like the longer, if you're interested in doing this, I feel like the longer you wait into the season, the busier the guys at New Jersey Natural Gas are going to wind up being. So the number and all, the website, savegreen.com, the phone number, it's all on the screen. So, don't hesitate, don't wait, because I'm sure it takes a little while to get an appointment anyway.
Yeah, when you reach out to one of our energy consultants, they'll go over what's the best fit for you. Basically, set up an appointment at your convenience and basically, have somebody come out and give you some energy saving tips. Along with that, they do some simple things if you need, say, insulating pipe wrap, your faucet, the aerators. All these little things add
Yeah.
up to big savings.
Yeah. Just a reminder, of course, Gary is from New Jersey Natural Gas, but if you are all electric, you can reach out to your electric utility company as well, and they have a similar program. So don't worry, everyone is going to save money on their appliances if you go through your utility company.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
mean, not
that's important
everybody.
to know.
Yep. And it's a very good point, Andre. Not everybody is a New Jersey Natural Gas customer, but you made a very good point. If you want to go through JCP&L,
Right,
PSE&G, any of the utilities throughout the state have the same program.
they do.
So, it's not just that we're the only ones that have it. All the utilities have it. So, whatever you're more comfortable with, go to your utility provider and set up that appointment.
Now, Gary, what are some things maybe some folks can just do, your average homeowner? Your air conditioning is chugging away, it's hot. Some things that you can just kind of do it yourself things in the house to make sure that you're doing what you need to do in the home to make sure your air conditioning is running efficiently. I mean, like obviously you're going to shut the front door, shut the windows.
Yeah, one of the things you can do, and this is very common when we go out and do energy assessments, we identify areas where air is leaking into the home and out of the home. Things that are simple, caulking windows, weather stripping. One of the biggest offenders everybody always sees is they stand in front of their front door and they go, I could see outside. Well, get some weather stripping, and little simple things like that. They are things as easy as filters for your light switches. You know, um, New Jersey Natural Gas has a marketplace. You can get there from the savegreen.com. And they have some items there, breeze through it if you're sitting around bored one day. There's some simple things that you can do, and they offer it. And basically, everything from weather stripping, things like gaskets around your outlets,
Right, right.
caulking. Everybody, can get somebody to caulk. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things, and the great thing about it is when you have this QHEC done, the auditor will go over some things and give you some energy saving tips. Seeing is really the way to go about really finding out where we're losing money in our house, pointing it out. Hey, that over there, that over there. There's things that, the homeowner can do, and then there's also programs, but
Mhm.
for those that are handy, getting some, really some good advice from one of our certified auditors. Hey, how can you beat that? And it's free.
Free is the best price of all. No one argues with that one. Let's see. So if I want to go and I want to get a assessment of my home, do I call? How do I do that? Who do I need to reach out to?
Well, when you either go to the savegreen.com, you could pursue it through there. But the easiest way, Andrea, is that number that you see on your screen.
Okay.
That will get you directly in touch with one of our energy consultants. They can kind of do a little, if I can call it an interview, what's going to be the best thing for you, and then they can set up an appointment for you and, have somebody come out that's a real expert at finding those areas where you're losing money.
I think people would be surprised at what a difference just some weather stripping and caulking, how that can make such an incredible difference. I know the situation of I'm at my door and I can see outside, been there. Lots of people, I'm not the only one. And I mean, honestly, you could go to Home Depot, guys, and just buy a piece of weather stripping, put it in, and I'm really shocked what a difference. So it really is sometimes just little things that will make a difference and keep your house cool. And saving energy is really saving money.
That's for sure. And I know everybody has their favorite friend when they're trying to figure out how to do something. You know what? Google weather stripping installation. I mean, it's
Yeah,
very simple nowadays. I mean, most
it is.
homeowners are pretty handy. And, just simple things like that can really have a big impact on your energy usage. So, you don't necessarily have to have a professional, although we do highly recommend it.
Mhm.
But if you're handy and you can do it yourself, little tiny steps can save up a tremendous amount of money.
I feel like the value in having a professional come out and do the energy assessment is that they're pointing out all the places that you might not be aware of. I mean, you live in your house, but you're not going to be able to take notice of the things that the professional will. And once you have a handle on all these little areas that need to be tweaked, again, either you can do it yourself or you can have the professional do it, but at least you know what needs to be done.
Most homeowners who are really into saving money on their utility bills, when the auditor comes out for the appointment, I've done them myself in the past, and you got a homeowner and they've got a pen and pencil. What do I do? And they start writing down these little things. There's nothing wrong with that. They're really excited about it. Something that they can do themselves. But the best thing I see those homeowners doing, taking notes. There's nothing wrong with taking notes. I mean, everybody wants to save money, and there are some simple ways to do it. So, the quick home energy checkup, that's a perfect start right there.
So I think that would be a great way for most of us to start our summer. And remember, if you haven't turned on your air conditioning yet, oh my God, please do that. Make sure it even works, right? Because you don't want to be surprised on that hottest day of the summer. And it's coming.
Yeah,
It's on its way.
and another thing too is if you're going to be like most people and everybody waits till that last minute, guess what? That's going to be a bonanza for the HVAC guys. Everybody's air conditioner broke at
Yeah,
the same time.
on the same
Test
on
it
the
out.
same week.
Test it out now. Now's the time to do it. And if you're going to experience problems, now's the time to address it. Don't wait until it's 99 degrees out and it's like, oh my goodness, my air conditioner don't work.
So, Gary, last thought on this. The big controversy in most houses I see is the thermostat. Playing with it up, down, up, down. I mean, my opinion is you find a number you like and you live with it. What's your thought?
I would have to agree with you 100%. Jockeying the thermostat back and forth, is not necessarily a good idea. If you change it maybe a degree, that's okay. One of the things you find people doing when they leave their house, and then there's nothing wrong with it, but you got to think about it. They'll drop their thermostat maybe 5 degrees, 6 degrees. Believe it or not, that's a lot. And all of a sudden you come home and you find out that your house is stifling hot. Oh my goodness. And you decide, well, let me drop the thermostat down 7, 8 degrees. Boy, that thing is going to work and work and work. So there's nothing wrong dropping it maybe a degree or two, but don't really take that big swing. I really think that you're kind of putting a strain on your system. I basically set it and forget it.
The only time I make a change is if I have a lot of people in the house and it might get a little on the warm side. So I might go down a degree, but I am basically set it and forget it. And you know what? It works. And I don't think about it anymore. And I come home, my house is always comfortable because I set it and forget it.
That's great.
No.
That's a great idea. I remember going out in the field and going to people's houses and walking in and going, geez, it's like a meat locker in here. Oh, and they got it down to like
I don't
70
like that.
degrees.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
boy, and that's their house. They could do what they want.
Well,
Me,
maybe that's how they set it and forget it at, 68, 70 degrees. Yikes, don't invite me
yeah,
over.
Jesus, catch pneumonia there. But I usually, me as a rule of thumb for both cooling and heating for my cooling season, believe it or not, I leave my thermostat on 78 degrees. And I've done, well, obviously, I've done all these energy saving measures I can do to my home. And basically, I find that to be pretty comfortable. I mean, people are like 78 degrees. Oh my God, it's probably like an oven in there. Not really, not when you got a home that's not as drafty as other homes.
Right, right.
So 78 degrees for my cooling season. Do I drop a degree here or there? Maybe. But for the most, it's set for that. Heating, 68 degrees, and like I say, some people, they like their heat, and like I said, we can't tell you how to set your thermostat, but if you want to conserve, be a little wise.
So I think it's very personal because some people hear a number and they say, oh, that's no good. But it really is about how well your house is insulated, draft free, etc. So 78 in your house is probably very comfortable. Whereas in someone else's house, I could see that being like an oven.
Yes,
You
that's for
can't just
sure.
look at the number. It's about the comfort level in your own home.
Right. If your home's not energy efficient and you have all these air leakages, you're wasting money. You're wasting money. So, having the QHEC quick home energy checkup performed on your home, simple steps can save a lot of money. Now's the time to do it.
You heard it from the expert. You heard it from the pro, Gary Pavarnik of New Jersey Natural Gas. And again, the numbers are on the screen, savegreen.com, 877-455-6564 to make your appointment. Don't wait because it's going to get hot and you want to be comfortable in your own home. That's really the bottom line here, right?
Absolutely. Everybody has their different comfort zones. So, let's help you find yours.
You're 78, mine is 74. See, we all have a number. Gary, it is always a pleasure to have you on FYI. I appreciate you being with me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Andre. You know that. I always look forward to these little chats.
Good, good. I'm
We have a lot
glad.
of fun together.
So remember out there, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr. We'll see you next time on Scan FYI. Bye, everyone, and bye, Gary.
Have a great day now.